Alright, so now here is the part 3 to my video, my second day. So in my last video, I had noticed that I was talking with a piece of paper in my hand, and I realized that possibly a customer's information may have been revealed, but basically it's no more information that you would know if you could just Google it. But basically, if you did notice that in my video, what basically that was on the back of each receipt, I keep the receipts, and what I've been doing is, for tax purposes, recording my total miles. So for instance, my first 2 days, I have 1 full day of the 3 orders I did. On each order where I received the cash tip, I stapled that cash money to that receipt. And I got an idea from another video that I had seen on YouTube regarding around SHIPT, and how this gentleman was showing how he takes all the different ship orders and labels or saves them some way on Google Maps. So I kind of took his idea and kind of spliced the two, but I also believe in having a hard copy of anything that I do. So every receipt that I get, I take that day, I write the total miles on it, I staple the cash tips to it. If I don't have a cash tip stapled to it, I will note that I got an online order for a tip. And if I have nothing on there, I just put no tip. So in my last video, I talked about how the last client gave me no tip. I still haven't received one as of now. I finally got 1 tip that showed from another week, but truthfully, it was from the day prior. It's just that by the time the customer had submitted it, it must have been too late for it to be added in for that week. But it lets you know who gave you the tip if it's not the week in which you did the delivery, or day rather. So I'm keeping a hard copy of all the deliveries I do, so in case I file my taxes and they ask me questions on how much tips you got, I at least know in cash what I got, and once I get everything resolved, that money would be mine after I file my taxes. But I feel like I don't want to spend the money, because I want to kind of just wait and see what that experience is going to be like. And I have to admit, I'm really kind of stressful about the whole tax thing and keeping track of your miles, but I'm really organized. And what you probably seen on the back of the receipt was the customer's address. So if I ever deliver to that address again, I already have a heads up on how their driveway is, if it's an apartment or a private home, because those make a difference too. The apartments are really difficult. I explained that in the first video on what that experience was like, and I explained in my second video what it was like to deliver to a driveway that was kind of different or smaller than normal. So those are the kind of notes I'm putting there, whether it's private home or apartment, what their driveway situation looks like. I do put their name just so if I ever have to deliver to them again, I'll be like, I don't know if you remember me, I'll remind them of who I am. And I also put what tip I got, whether it's cash or online, and the order number. I don't think that matters, but the order numbers do save into your phone. So the information that I have is no different than the information that you have, except for the addresses. But Google Maps saves the addresses technically too, because if you go in your recent history and you look at it that you've done that week or that you had to search for, it will show. So I end up going after my first week back in and rewriting this on the actual receipts, just so I can keep my personal thing of who I've delivered to, what their driveway looks like, how far their address is, and just familiarize myself with what I'm doing. And now when I go on Google Maps, I actually can see all the different areas I've delivered to, which is also really kind of cool too to look at. But taking upon what another YouTuber had put on his channel, I just took what he did and just made it my own. So what I do is I normally I don't think I label it. I think I save it. I save the address, and then I think I've made a label for it to be shipped. So anytime where I want to save it, I save it into that, and it lets me also keep track of how many deliveries I've done and also where I've been. So that's all that is that you see on that. Now, continuing into the third part of my video is my second day. So my second day, I got to work at my scheduled time.